Okay, so in this lesson, we are going to cover how to adjust the opacity or the transparency of one photo on top of another. So if you go to your resources for this lesson, you'll have a photo, a JPEG called curls, and I have that open here in GIMP right now. And as usual, we're going to go select all, image guides, new guides from selection, and we're going to go to layers, and we're going to right click, and we're going to add alpha channel to this, and then we're going to go ahead and create a new transparent layer, and we're going to make sure that our curl layer is selected. And in this, we are going to, we're also going to be covering how to use the paths tool. So make sure you have your toolbox handy. So the paths tool is another method for removing a background or isolating part of an image. In this case, it's going to be this woman. And the paths tool is this one right here. And if you'll hover over it, it'll pop up and say Paths Tool, Create and Edit Paths. So we're going to click on that. View and Fit Image Window. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at one side of her. So we'll start here at the bottom. We're basically going to use this to outline her. And the paths tool is pretty smart and adaptive, so it doesn't require you to be perfect because it will do some of the work for you. So you'll see what I mean here. So we'll start down at this bottom corner. Design, and then click there, and then we're basically just gonna go like this as we sort of try our best to outline as much of her as possible. And you can click as many times as you'd like. I mean, the more clicks, the smaller the space between your dots, the better. And you just kind of, try to get close, and you'll see that it kind of snaps to the lines as best it can. And when we get to the top here, we'll click there, and then we'll just try to go a straight line over right to there, because the picture gets cut off right at that point. And so over here, let's see how this is a little bit far away. At any point, you can click any of the dots that you've already made. Like this right here, we can click this and pull it out this way, or in this way, and we can adjust them. So we'll adjust that a little bit closer, like that. And then we'll just go back over to where we were on this one, and we'll just continue the process, like so. And it's okay if it's not perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just try to get it as best as you can without losing your mind. And yeah, anything that's too wispy, I usually just kind of exclude. And it does a pretty decent job here, as you can see, of staying. It knows that there's lines there, and it does a pretty good job of minding those. And we'll do the same thing down here where we click, and then down here we now need to meet back with our original point, our original dot. And so now we need to go to our tool options and click selection from path, and you'll see how it animates the line that we've created, all the different dots connected around her. Select, invert, and then delete, and you'll see that background disappears. And then we go select none, and click on your rectangle select to get that to go away. And like before with our other examples, you'll see that she's got a little bit left over that we need to clean up. So to do that, we will go back to our handy dandy eraser tool. Same exact way. And since we're going to be making this photo more opaque or transparent on top of another one, it's also going to make it less crucial that it's perfect. So you'll see what I mean here in a moment. For now, just work on getting it as close as you can realistically do. And there we go. Okay, looking better. Oop. And then you can, of course, always undo if you make any mistakes or erase anything that you didn't want to erase. And not too bad over on this side. And looking okay. And yeah, a little bit right there. Okay. And now now that that's looking a little bit better, I'm gonna make my eraser just a little smaller and get these spaces between her hairs where there's these little gaps, and just barely click between those to separate them and get that white out of there. Okay, and so next what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this houses JPEG and we're gonna drag it to the toolbox to open it in GIMP. And there is that. And we're gonna zoom out so that we can get a better view here. Okay, and as usual, we're gonna select all, go image guides from selection, and we're gonna go ahead and go back to this one and make sure that you have your curl layer selected, and go select all, edit, copy, and back here, and make sure you're on your top layer and edit, paste, and then double click this layer to rename it curls. Oops. And then she's obviously much too large, so we're going to go to the layer menu and we're going to go scale layer. And since our original is 853 pixels high, we'll go ahead and make this 860 pixels and scale it. And now you can see she fits a lot better. Obviously, we don't want to move her too far down because the top of her head is a bit cut off here. So, and that's okay. This is going to work just fine. And what we're going to do now is in our layers box or menu over here, we're going to make sure that the curls layer is selected, and you'll notice that above here there's this meter that says opacity, and it's at 100% by default. So we're just gonna, you can see these little arrows up and down, we're just gonna start clicking the down, and you'll see that she starts to fade into this background picture of these houses. And you know, I don't think we should go a whole lot lower than this right here. This is about 66 or so. In fact, maybe more like 70. Otherwise, it starts to get too confusing and blurry. And so, and if you want to move her to either side, of course, just click the move tool, and you can do that easily this way if you prefer, or the other direction. You can put it wherever you'd like there, and then if you right click the the curls layer and go alpha to selection, which is all the way towards the bottom. And then you go to the filters menu and the light and shadow and drop shadow, and then change the drop shadow to black instead of white, and click OK, and select none. And you'll see that just kind of adds a little bit of a border to her, which is optional, of course. Yeah, and then you can go ahead and save this as a project. Call it Curls Houses, and save it as a GIMP project. And you can also export it as a PNG if you'd like. And yeah, so that covers that.